It's not uncommon to buy a house or land without any intention of living there. Some people simply buy and hold a property, waiting for it to appreciate in value before reselling it. Having cash for a down payment is the quick and easy way to enter the real estate market, but it's not your only option. Many people have found ways to start investing in real estate with little to no money of their own. Options include borrowing money as well as a number of more unusual and creative paths of ownership. Well, you may be thinking, hey, Sarah Renee, I'm really broke right now and I just can't think of any way to get money to invest. Well, let's just see here. There are plenty of ways, if you just take some time and think about it, as to how you may be able to come up with the fees to go ahead and start your first investment property. So, that did not, okay. So just going back in, there are a couple of ideas I have. Now some of these ideas may work for some, it may not work for others. Some of these ideas you may say, well, I don't know anybody that would ever do that, but these are just options and things that you can try when you're trying to invest in real estate and build your capital. You can look into seller financing. If the seller is motivated enough, he or she may be willing to make it easy for you to purchase the house, giving you a loan of their own. You can offer to make higher monthly payments instead of the down payment. You could negotiate a deal where the seller pays you your down payment to a traditional lender in order to sell the property faster. The seller might expect you to pay him or her back, and she may throw the down payment in for free, essentially lowering the selling price. For each of these options, make sure you have a real estate attorney write up the agreement so that both parties are protected. That attorney is the most important thing when you're dealing with legal issues in real estate. You want to make sure that you have a great attorney that you can turn to and ask questions, and then they can also make sure that you're going down the right path. The next option I have is you can lease the property with the option to buy. You can invest in real estate slowly by making payments on a lease agreement until you have the money to buy. Your payments would, well, at least part of it, would be credited towards the purchase price. You just ensure that the agreement specifically states a final price for the property. Define the exact portion of the rental payments that will be put towards the final purchase price. And make sure you speak to an attorney before moving forward with any legal contract. The next option I have is you can take over their mortgage payments. If you're interested in investing in a piece of real estate, but you can't afford the down payment, offer to take over the mortgage payments in exchange for the deed. Some sellers may do this depending on whatever financial straits they may be in. Again, some of these ideas may not work for everyone, but they will work for some. If you need to investigate the existing loan before you make such an offer, as far as taking over these mortgage payments, some mortgage loans have specific language preventing this type of transaction. So you just want to make sure that you do your research, and before you go ahead and start taking over someone else's monthly mortgage payments, that there's no clause within their loan telling you that they are not allowed to do so. And please be sure to speak with your attorney first. You can also bring in a partner. If you're big on ideas but short on cash, bringing in a partner who will provide funding and allow you to do the managing might be an attractive option to you. You will need to write up a contract that establishes who is responsible for what and how the profits will be divided. This is actually really good if you have a close friend or a close business partner who maybe have some financial backing, or parents or something like that that are able to actually put in money to be a partner with you. That would be a great option. You would want to decipher between if the partner is going to be an active partner or if they're going to be more of a silent partner, in which case they would really just be offering you the financial backing and not really participating in the purchasing of the home, not participating in the rebuilding and restructuring of the home or the rehabbing of the home. They would solely be just your financial partner, which works I mean, it works, and it just depends on kind of what you're looking for. Again, I would say speak to your attorney before proceeding with any legal contracts, any legal obligations whatsoever, just to cover yourself. If your partner is in a place strictly for financial support, like I just said, make sure you retain all control over the day-to-day management of your investment. So once you purchase this home and they tell you that they don't want to be involved on the front end as far as the rehabbing of the home, they just want to kind of put some money in and invest with you, make sure that you have all the control over the day-to-day management. A lot of people like to come in the middle of a deal and start giving their opinion, but everyone needs to know their place in this contractual agreement. You can also invest with a building contractor. Like I said, this may not work for everyone, but it will work for some. You may have a good friend that's great at plumbing, electrical skills, and carpentry. And he may have the skills to fix up or resell a property. Partner with someone who does have these skills, and it could help you with the down payment. Once you make a profit on the sale, you will have the down payment for your next real estate investment. The other option you can do is you can borrow money from family or friends. Now, I know a lot of family members and friends who are very against lending money for a home or for a car, something such as that. But one thing about friends and family is that they're with you all the way through. So when you start actually investing in these properties and they see what you're doing, they will start to believe in you. And then once you maybe have 2-3 properties under your belt, you will be surprised your parents and your friends will want to invest with you. They will see what it is that you're doing and they will see it as being successful. We are taking calls today, so please feel free to give us a call at 630-215-9592. Again, we have another number here, 708-345-0563. So we have another option here. You can also take out a home equity loan. If you own your own property now, the payments that you've made to the bank is kind of like a small bank account, if you will, for yourself. You can actually talk to the bank about pulling out some of that money that you've already paid for your mortgage, and they'll allow you to pull out a home equity loan. You will have to find a bank who will allow you to take out a loan for a down payment on top of the mortgage loan that you have for your own home. This would be a line of credit or a second mortgage using your home as collateral. Look for a low interest rate that will allow you to purchase the property economically enough so that you can make a profit later on your investment. This may sound a little scary, but however, if you're paying into the bank, you're paying your mortgage, you've been paying this mortgage for 10 years, you've never, been late or anything such as that, the bank has, as I said, something of a little bank account of money that they've held for you for the last 10 years. I don't want to say held for you, but that they have for the last 10 years of you making these payments, and they will allow you to take out a loan on that payment. It's even better if you've paid your entire mortgage off. Then you can usually they give you about 80%, typically, of whatever has been paid in. So that actually is a really good way as well to just get some quick money. And once you have this money, then you can go and find a house with a realtor, someone who can kind of help you in finding the perfect house. Now, when you first start investing, you're not going to go and buy a $1 million home. You're going to start with a smaller home, maybe something that you can fix up, something that you can rent out. Another great idea, actually, when I was in college, I knew of a family who actually purchased a house in the area and rented each room to their child's friend, if you will. They rented out a room, so like your girlfriends or your guy friends, you rent out a room so everyone gets to live together. But guess what happens? You're collecting rent off every room in that house besides maybe the one that your child is staying in. So after collecting all that, a lot of times when you're collecting rent like that, the rent pays for the home, the rent pays the mortgage. And then you'll get to the point where there'll be a slight overflow in which the house will end up being paid off, and you'll start collecting money in your own pocket. And that's kind of how the investing with the properties work. You know, you start one house at a time. You just take your time. It's definitely not a sprint. This is something that you will have to chip away at and take your time with. It will take years, but before you know it, your investment property will pay you better than your full-time job if you do it in the right manner with the right people, and make sure that you have an attorney who will take care of you and protect you with legal issues. So we also have, you can consider a micro lender. Now, a micro lender, internet micro lending services are also called peer-to-peer lending. They help borrowers find lenders for small loans, usually under $35,000. You can research these sites and familiarize yourself with all the rules and regulations in order to avoid misunderstandings later. Some popular micro lending sites include Kiva, the Lending Club, and Prosper. Another option that you have is to use a hard money lender. I know we spoke about this last week on the show. Hard money lenders are private individuals who loan on a property based primarily on the value of the property. Although lenders have been tightening their standards in recent years, they will still generally lend 100% of the purchase price and even possibly repair costs if the deal is good enough. They need to feel secure in their investment, so if you need only $50,000 for a property that's going to be worth $100,000, you may not need to put any money in. Just remember, you have to sell yourself, and you have to be confident in what you're doing and know that you're doing the right thing, and people will come into the deals with you. Again, remember, just don't overestimate the value of the future value of the property. If you have knowledge, motivation, and skill, but lack the financial resources, you're in luck. Most of the professional world has financial resources, but lack knowledge, motivation, and skill. Use your networking skills to find others who have the missing piece in your strategy and become partners. Make sure that everything is spelled out clearly up front and everything is in writing. And again, consult your attorney. Your attorney will end up being your best friend. Another option is just even working with an experienced real estate broker. It will cost you nothing to work with a real estate broker experienced in finding properties that have the potential of not requiring a down payment. Ask people experienced in real estate investing for names of brokers they have worked with. Look for deals about a particular agent's background on the real estate company's website. A lot of these the real estate agents know, the real estate brokers, they know the areas, they know where the good deals are. Build a partnership with them, even if it's not financial. Just build a friendship, a partnership with them where you guys can kind of kick out ideas about what your goals are and what your future dreams are. You also would like to seek out motivated sellers. These people are desperate to sell for reasons such as bankruptcy, divorce, death, or a relative is out of town at a new job, or poor condition of the property. They're behind on their payments. They will be more open to. They'll be more willing to open up to providing funding to close their deal quickly because of their situation. And your local real estate broker can help provide information on who might be in this situation. Again, we are taking calls today, and the number is 708-345-0563. And this is Sarah Renee with Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio.
For the question of the day. Only on Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio. Join Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio for 3 incredible days of music, empowerment, and family fun. We'll be broadcasting live from the historic Idlewild Resort on Williams Island in Idlewild, Michigan, all weekend long. The fest is held to commemorate and celebrate the history of well-known African-American entertainers and professionals who performed and owned property at the resort prior to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. See live performances by Paul B. Smith, D. Lucas and the Urban Jazz Coalition, Althea Renee and Demetrius Neighbors, Paul Dozier and Margaret Bell, Paula Atherton and New Era, Kimmy Horn, Marquille Jordan, and the incomparable Angela Winbush. So make sure you join us July 10th through the 12th at the Idlewild Music Fest on Williams Island in Idlewild, Michigan. For tickets and more information, go to idlewildmusicfest.org. Idlewild and Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio. Now that's a match made in heaven.
Well, your weekly weather report on Smooth 90.5 FM. As always, today it is 43 degrees and we are looking forward to having more. It is slightly raining today and it is snowing as well. 34 Fahrenheit later on in the evening, 58% of rain. Friday we have 41% of rain and of course snow as well, 27 degrees as well in the evening. 35% of rain during Friday. Saturday is going to be a little partly sunny. Don't forget, it's going to be 39 degrees, so it looks like we are still being played the April Fool's joke at this present time on Smooth 90.5 FM. 39 degrees Saturday, 23% rain on Saturday as well. Sunday is more chances of 61% of rain. It's going to be 48 degrees. And also Monday, 52 degrees and 63% of rain. Tuesday, you can't forget, it's going to be partly sunny, but still a little chilly at that time. 48 degrees, 12% of raining. And Wednesday, partly sunny as well, 50 degrees at 7% rain. You're listening to Smooth 90.5 FM. Now, back to the Sarah Renee Show.
Hi, and this is Sarah Renee Show, and we're on Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio. Today we're talking about how to invest in real estate with little to no money. So I've been giving some tips today on things that you can do, people you can talk to get your startup fees as far as being able to invest in real estate and get your projects started and underway. I don't want anyone to feel trapped or frustrated because of money. One thing about money is everywhere. And if you can sell yourself and you are believable and you believe in what you're trying to do, your investment, people will definitely listen to you and money will come. So I'm just offering a few tips today about how we can invest in real estate with little to no money. Another way is you can search online for properties that offer incentives. I know that sites such as Fannie Mae, HomePath, they offer a lot of foreclosures. And depending on your stage of investing, a lot of times they offer programs with little to no down payment, or they'll offer a program with seller financing. Check out homepath.com, a real estate market site. Fannie Mae also lists thousands of properties that they've acquired through foreclosures. When the market dropped some years ago, these are all properties that they have in their stock, and they would actually rather not have them. So I'm sure that they're more than excited for people to come out and start investing and let your money work for you. We work so hard every day with our 9-to-5 jobs, and this is a way to collect residual income. Residual income or passive income, in my opinion, is the best way to earn money. When you let your money work for you instead of working for it, let's be smart about it. Let's take our money and invest it into a real estate deal that will continually put profit into your pocket. There are certain areas, even here in Chicago, I know in Houston and Dallas, where the areas are actually worth so much, and the property that sits on top of it, regardless of how unappealing it may look from the outside, it may be actually a pretty good money maker. You can decide to either tear down the home or to fix the home up and rent it out to maybe friends or family, someone that you know is going to pay you your rent every single month. That's my big thing. Make sure that you pay the bills, and I'm okay. So again, we can include little to no down payment or seller financing if you check out homepath.com or fanniemae.com. There are also many research options available to the novice real estate investor. They include websites, books, magazines, fee-based financial advisors, which are really good, and friends and family who are experienced with real estate. Ask questions until you're sure you understand what you're getting into, and then ask some more. And make sure, again, one more time, that you consult an attorney for any legal issues. You don't want to get involved in something that's illegal or something that, could be detrimental to your lifestyle or to your finances. This is supposed to be a positive thing. We want to keep it positive. Just make sure that you ask all your questions and utilize your friends and family, your attorney, people that can actually give you good advice. And if nothing else, you can contact your local villages and government to see what type of area you may be investing in, just to make sure that everything is on the up and up. You don't want to be stuck with a lemon. So research a property thoroughly before offering to buy it. Properties have been on the market for a while or are in danger of foreclosure may have owners who are more than willing to consider creative financing ideas. And this is true. It's easy to work with someone and try and get a foreclosure, or pre-foreclosure would be even better, because then you would be able to make your deal with the actual seller and not the bank. When you get to the point and you're making an offer on a foreclosure property with the bank, you're competing with everyone else in the city that's interested in that property, and not even just the people that are in that city. I know people who would call on the phone to make offers on real estate depending on the location of the property, which is very important. Even in Chicago and certain areas, the location is key. So look for opportunities that will allow you to acquire properties without money up front. Real estate agents and foreclosure-related websites can point you towards such properties. Another option that you can use is a lease option. A lease option is a strategy used in real estate to buy homes from homeowners without actually taking legal ownership. Instead, the real estate investor signs a long-term lease with the house owners, as well as signing a legal option to buy the property at a specific price in the future. The owners are not legally allowed to sell the property until the option period is up, and the investor gets to lock in his future purchase as well. The investor can then easily rent the property out for cash flow or find a buyer to sell his option to. Sometimes with these lease option deals, you may live in this property for 6 months and find that, hey, this is really not a good location, or this is the best location. Make sure, again, that you speak to your attorney when you're drawing up any legal information. One clause that you would definitely want to add in is an exit clause, just in case if the property is not really what you thought it was going to be. You don't want to be stuck and held into an option to purchase if you're no longer interested. You can buy property subject to. Buying a home using a subject to strategy involves actually transferring legal title from the old owner to the new investor without paying back the original mortgage that the old owners had. While the bank may not appreciate being paid back, as long as payments are continued to be made, usually the bank will never find out or never care. This strategy is a bit riskier, but as long as you have a backup plan, it's perfectly acceptable. Another option you may want to use is Use a combination of the two. You can mix or match using any of the above scenarios. Perhaps use a hard money lender to purchase the property and use a partner to finance into a 30-year fixed mortgage after the repairs are done, or perhaps as a lease option until you can raise private money to cash out the sellers. That's another great way of raising money. Have some type of a fundraiser. You can revitalize the community. It happens all the time. I would just say, make sure, one, that you definitely talk to your attorney about all of these deals that you're going to do before you move forward. And make sure you're not afraid of getting out there, stepping out there on faith. There are plenty of books, there are plenty of websites that are there to offer your help. And you can be just as educated as the best investor if you can simply just read and ask questions. You can be turned into a pro investor with little to no money. I just want to kind of go over a few things that we spoke of before our break. We spoke about looking into using seller financing, which the seller may be able to offer you an easier way of making payments, a loan from a specific seller rather than a bank. Lease the property with the option to buy. Invest in the real estate slowly by making payments on lease agreements until you have the money to buy, and which your payments would be at least be credited towards the purchase price of the property. You can take over mortgage payments of a seller who may be having some financial difficulty. Offer to take over their mortgage payments. You would definitely want to come up with some type of a contractual agreement in which you would do what? Talk to your attorney first. Right. Let's not step into any of these deals blind. There are people out here who know our legal rights. Let's utilize them. Grab an attorney, talk, take them out to lunch, whatever you have to do. Pick their brain, get their knowledge, and become friends so that they can always be on your side and you always have someone to ask important questions to. You can bring in a partner. Again, if you're big on ideas but short on the cash, bring in a partner who will provide the funding and allow you to do the managing of the property. Again, even with that, you want to speak to your attorney. Another option we went over is you can borrow money from your friends or family. Borrowing money from friends and family, I feel, is pretty unique because they're the people that are around you the most. They see you, they see your highs, they see your lows. So sometimes in order to get money from your friends and family, you kind of have to show them what you're doing. So this may not be your very first option. And then for some, it may be. You may have a grandfather who's looking to maybe give you some money or donate into a real estate deal. But a lot of people feel secure once they see you have committed to this and that you have really, a good understanding and a good team. And then before you know it, everyone's going to want to invest with you. Trust me. Friends and family, they want to see at least that you have maybe 2 good deals under your belt and that you're confident. Everyone wants to see that you're confident. So another big part of raising capital to invest in real estate is about selling yourself. And just selling yourself and your project, believing in what you are trying to accomplish, and selling yourself and be believable, be confident. And the way to get that is to read. Go online at night after work and read all about how to get started with this investment. If you can find a location that doubles or even triples the money that you initially invest into it, you're on a roll. You just need to have a good team around you, though. You can't do everything on your own. And I want to stress that. You can't do everything on your own. You need a good, solid team. You need an attorney. You need a real estate broker. if you're going to take out a financial loan from a bank or a mortgage company, you need a great lender. We're trying to do this on our own, though. So we want to just use money that's not going to come from a bank, in which may tie up your credit. I mean, especially if you have some credit issues. This is a great way to start investing and putting money back into your own pocket. You can pay back loans as far as a equity loan. The bank will allow you to take out a loan for a down payment on top of the mortgage that you already have for your own house. This could be a line of credit or a second mortgage. I would be careful with that. Make sure that you can pay this loan, or you will be at risk of losing your home if you do decide to go the route of the home equity loan, because you're putting your home up for collateral. And you will also have a credit score. You will also need to have a credit score in the high 600s to take out this type of loan. For people, again, that do not have a credit score in the high 600s, it's plenty of us. A lot of us are having in that same situation. Let's try and build capital in a different way. Let's try and utilize some of these other tips that we've gone through today to get your first investment property. Don't be nervous. Don't be afraid. It is building you to have a passive income to the point where you will not even have to get up and go to work in the morning. How many people would love that? I would. So there are a few options here. Like I said, you can use a hard money lender. And these are private individuals who have money to loan. And they're very interested and willing to loan their money out to you so long as you can sell them on this deal. Is it the best deal? What is my profit going to be? How long will you have my money? When can you return it? And can you give me any interest? People who are lending out money definitely want to, make money. That's their whole thing. So you want to be knowledgeable and you want to be confident before you even go in to ask someone to lend you money for a property or an investment. Again, like I said, you can work with a real estate broker, an experienced real estate broker, someone who knows these areas. They know where certain properties are that are going to double and triple your money. If you get a friendship with a real estate broker, then you guys can be friends and business professionals, in which you can talk about more than just kind of the day-to-day activities and houses. I mean, you will get a good understanding of some really good deals. And there are motivated sellers as well, people who may have personal situations, in which case they need to get out of their houses, and they're looking for someone like you to help them. So I wanted to ask, so Rob.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So have you ever tried to start investing in real estate?
You know what? I only thing I ever invested in was when I used to work at Walgreens, and I did that 401. That was the only time I did some investment. I kind of got a little scared of doing investment property, because I've heard horror stories. Are there? Tell me some of the pros and cons about investing in property.
Well, some of the pros and cons of investing in property, in my opinion, is if you get a piece of property, also I would think of it more as just a piece of property, but think of it as the land that it's sitting on.
Well, let me ask you this question. What's the difference between investing in a property and purchasing property? Is there a difference in that? Because I am a homeowner, so does that constitute me as being an investor of a property, or is that something else?
That would be something else. That's a great question. Because you're a homeowner, so when you initially, right now, you're a homeowner. You own your home and you live in it, correct?
That is correct.
So when you start to invest, that's a little bit different, because this property you don't necessarily live in. You purchase this property. You don't live in it. Your goal in purchasing this property is to either rent it out or to flip it. In which case, a flip is where you pretty much purchase the property, you do the repairs, you do the rehab work, and you put it on the market and you sell. And you get your profit there. If you decide, I want to go ahead and rent it out and continuously make money every month and have passive income, that is where you would rent out your property to someone who you feel is able to make the payments that you need them to make on a monthly basis on time, and it will eventually pay your mortgage for that property. You'll see, and it will also create you passive income where you are continuously making money without really having to do any work.
Let me ask you this question: who should I not rent out my property? Say, for instance, I have a house here in Maywood, and I want to do it as an investment property. Who should I not rent to? Is it should I rent to family? Do I rent to friends? Should I rent out my house? Because when they had the big Super Bowl parties or anything like that, or the NFL draft parties, people rent out their homes. And for people who come out of town to these different events, would that be considered as an investment property?
Okay, that's another good question. So I'm going to tread lightly here. As far as renting out, who should you rent to? I believe that was your first question.
Yes.
You want to rent to someone who is diligent in paying their bills on time. You want to rent to someone who knows that out of everything else in the world, the one thing that they need is a place to live, and that they respect that they respect your property, and that they will pay the rent to you on time, that they will also respect your property by not damaging it too much and kind of letting things get haywire and then sit and wait on you to come and repair them. As far as renting out your house for a Super Bowl party, I mean, as far as I can tell, that's an investment as well. You would be investing in, having this party at your home and renting it out for people to come and watch, which I'm sure is profitable. It's not exactly the same type of investment that I'm talking about as far as purchasing a pre-foreclosure or foreclosed home, fixing it up, and then renting it out. I mean, that's totally a good option. I know in Wrigley, they rent out the rooftops all the time for games, and I'm sure it's very profitable, so I would never deter anyone from that. But, so investing is just really just making a decision also that that's what you're going to do. You want to take your money, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and invest it into a home and repairing that home and giving someone else a beautiful place to live, a beautiful area to raise their children in. Again, with these investment deals, you want to talk to your attorney, and you do not want to discriminate at all. That's a very big thing in real estate, no discrimination. But I think that if you're interested in investing in real estate, again, get a good team, get an attorney, get a real estate agent, get a good lender if that's the route you're going to go. Just get and read. Everything that you can ever want to know is in a book. Anything that you can ever want to know is online right now. YouTube videos, everything. So don't be scared. It's definitely an investment, but be confident and just know what you're trying to do. Know your direction. Know what you want to get out of it as well.
So how do I go about starting to do investment property? You said go ahead and buy a foreclosure home. What's the next step?
Okay, so after you purchase your foreclosure, you want to let's back up just a little bit. Before you purchase the foreclosed home, do your research on this property. Make sure that, especially if you're buying in the city of Chicago or a major city, Houston or something such as that, that you do your research. Make sure that you check with the city ordinances. Make sure that there are no violations on these properties. Because the worst thing is to buy a foreclosure because you want to invest, and you have to spend the investment money on paying off the citations and the violations that are on the house, and then you're broke. So do your research before you make any purchase. Make sure you talk to your attorney. Get a clear understanding of what you're doing, and that your property has a free and clear title. You don't owe anyone. You don't have any liens. You purchase your foreclosure property. From there, you want to definitely Make sure that you have a team of rehabbers. Depending on the property, some foreclosures are really not bad, in which you can go in yourself and throw a coat of paint on and some new carpet, and you're ready to move in. Other foreclosures are worse, in which case the roof may be in really bad condition. You may need to replace the roof or the shingles. You may need to repair the siding and the entire inside of the property. That is not a bad thing, so long as you have capable people who are willing and ready to do the work for you to completion. Not just people who want to come in and get started and then kind of leave you high and dry. You want people that are really going to get in there and work for you. So we're going to go off to a commercial break, and we're talking right now about how to invest in real estate with little to no money. And this is the Sarah Renee Show on Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio.
Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio, the station that jazzes you up every day on Live365.com, iHeartRadio podcasting live, and MTV Radio Channel 3. From Chicago, across the Midwest, to all of the U.S. Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio is taking airwaves by Still from Kirk Franklin. Even though I don't see a smile. George Benson. And Howlin' Wolf Blues. To Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. It's Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio. Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio live every day. Sign up now to be a VIP. Loyal listeners win $365 every hour for the question of the day. Only on Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio. From Chicago, across the Midwest, to all of the U.S. Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio is taking airwaves by Still from Kirk Franklin. Even though I don't see a smile. George Benson. And Howlin' Wolf Blues. To Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. It's Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio.
Today's title is We Want to Get Married.
Pastor, how you doing? My name is Virgil. I was reaching out to you trying to I'm trying to get married, and I wanted to know what it took to get married at your church.
Excuse me, Virgil. Quick question. What is personal?
I'm not. I don't know where I got the number.
Never mind. We'll deal with it. What's your question?
Well, what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to get married. I really like your church. Mm-hmm. I've been there several times, and I'm really interested about what will it take to get married in there. And I might be calling at the last minute, man. I want to get married at the end of February.
Well, being in a hurry, we'll have to go through counseling first, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and we can take it from there. You have to give a call back on that, but tell me a little bit about just a little.
Well, what it is that we've been trying to get married for a long time. We've had a lot of difficulties with it, and never really found the right church that we thought would be a good place to get married. I think it's you got to feel it in your heart that this is the best place to get married. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we've been to your church quite a few times, maybe about 4 or 5 times, and we have, both agreed that this would be the perfect place for us to get married.
You're not a member at Mount, are you?
No, sir, I'm not. Like I said, I've visited. We visited 4 or 5 times. We really liked it. And we're sold on trying to get married at the church.
Well, go through the count 4 to 6 weeks, once a week, and we can talk about the rest of it another time.
Okay. And after that, then you're saying we'll be prepared to get married then?
I would think so. Sure. Yeah. No problem. How soon were you talking about?
Well, like I said, we were trying to do it in the February, but let me ask you this here now. After going through counseling, will we maybe have you be the person to actually perform the ceremony? Because that's what, I know that's what I want. For you actually to perform it.
Yes, that's all.
Okay. Well, listen, like I said, let me apologize. I know I had your personal number. I do apologize for that. I do have my soon-to-be spouse on the phone, and they would like to ask you a couple questions too, if that's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I can speak with her.
Okay. Al?
Al? Yes. Hi, Pastor. How you doing?
Al? Go ahead, Al.
Hey, Pastor. My name is Alfred, and I want to have a couple of questions myself. I just wanted to know what was the capacity of the church. We got quite a few friends and family members that were going to attend. So that's one thing I want to know about.
Right.
700. Okay. Right. But that sounds pretty good.
Well, that's what we wanted. We wanted to make sure it was enough room for our friends. So we're probably going to invite about 300 friends. So that should be fine. So Pastor, when can we get counseling started?
After you get married, or you
Alfred, I'm sorry, Alfred is who I'm married, Pastor. But Alfred and I are trying to get married by the end of February. So when can we actually?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I was talking to Virgil. Now
You're right. I'm Virgil.
Yeah. Oh, you on?
So Alfred is on the phone with me. Alfred is who I'm getting married to. So we want to know when can.
Excuse me. So Pastor, when can we start counseling the church? Who is we? So Virgil and I.
Yes. When can we start?
Excuse me. We can't start no damn counseling at my church. Not as forget about counseling. You need to come to Bible study. What are you talking about, Virgil?
Pastor, what seems to be the problem?
Excuse me?
What seems to be the problem? What is the problem that we can't get married at your church?
The problem is the institute of marriage is between a man and a woman. God did not put Adam and Eve to be Adam and Steve.
You just said if we go through counseling for 4 to 6 weeks, everything will be
The
fine.
hell with counseling, you on another level now. I don't believe in same-sex marriage, bro.
Well, people of the same sex are getting married all over the country. So what seems to be the problem, Pastor?
That's right and wrong. It doesn't matter to me what people are doing around the country. And now, we're sticking by the Bible says that the institute of marriage is between a man and a woman. I don't find you two to do that. I'm really not appreciative of the phone call. Now I'm feeling insulted. Hell no. Excuse me. No. I can't
Okay, well, can you make an exception?
No, I can't make an exception. But we love each other.
Exactly. Thank you, Alfred. Yes, we do.
I'm glad you do. I'm happy for you. But we don't really like that, bro. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I don't want to. Absolutely no.
I'm not.
A man and a woman must first lose their mother and father and cleave unto his wife. You don't see the problem here? I really don't have anything else. To say.
Okay, but before you go, can I say something else to you?
Hey, you may as well. You already insulted me.
We got your number from Reverend Chapman.
Reverend Chapman?
You're the assistant pastor. Reverend Chapman is the one
I
that
know who he is, Reverend Chapman. He gave you my number. No, man. I really don't have much more. I didn't talk to Chapman.
Okay, but Reverend Chapman said you wouldn't have a problem marrying us.
That's right. Reverend Chapman said I wouldn't have a problem marrying. Reverend Chapman said I wouldn't have a problem marrying you. I really don't have much time for you.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and tell you this, Pastor. I just want to know, on behalf of the assistant pastor, I'm nephew Thomas from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and you just been pranked.
Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio live every day. Sign up now to be a VIP. Loyal listeners win $365 every hour for the question of the day. Only on Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio.
We're back on with the Sarah Renee Show. Today we're talking about how to invest in real estate with little to no money. So we've gone over some tips and some options that everyone can utilize to get them started with real estate investment. A couple of things I just want to say as you begin your investor process. Don't be scared. Be thorough. Read as much as possible. Any questions that you have, find someone and ask them, what is the best way for me to go? What's the best option for me? I know a lot of people are out there concerned. They're interested in possibly investing, but they're scared to invest their savings and, maybe disrupt their family lives. And I'm telling you that if you read and you study and you have a great team, you will be doing a lot better than you think. Let's get started with this investing. Let's make some money for our communities. Let's make some money for each other. Let's unite together. Get a great attorney, a great real estate agent, and just a great family backing, some supportive friends and family, just to kind of support you on your road. This will be definitely a roller coaster ride, especially your first project, because there are a lot of things that you're going to encounter that you've never had to encounter before as a homeowner. But as an investor, think business savvy. Don't think emotional ever. One tip, if I can give you about purchasing a foreclosure or pre-foreclosure or any home for that matter, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of houses out there. Don't get attached to your first house. Don't get attached to your first investment property. Don't get emotional. Stay oriented with business, and I promise you, it will make a great return on your investment. Let's not get stuck on, oh, this house is so pretty. I love the layout of this house. I love the kitchen of this house. I like that this place has a furnace. Don't get nervous about things that the home may not have in a foreclosure. That's all part of it. A foreclosure is just a piece of property that a previous seller was unable to maintain as far as paying for the loan, and the bank was able to get that property back. Now they're giving you an opportunity as an investor to purchase this property at an extremely discounted rate. Don't be scared. Be confident. Read, ask questions, and get an attorney. Those are some of the key things that I can suggest to you in this whole process. I would love to hear from you guys. If anyone has questions, you can contact us here at Smooth 90.5 FM radio. I'm trying to think if there are any other tips. Don't get emotional. Just be business, and you'll show your confidence when you need to borrow money from particular people. Let them see that you're passionate about this. Let them see that you're educating yourself about this, that this is important to you. That's when you will really get into the land of happiness, and things will start flowing for you. And one thing, though, don't forget to check with the city first. Don't forget to make sure that the property is free and clear of any types of liens or ordinances or violations from the city, from any other contractors. You'll be surprised. Just do your research first, and you can get that research also if you're not internet savvy and can't go directly to the county, village county on your own. Talk to your real estate agent. Your real estate agent will definitely know how to check the title, and also talk to your attorney before you make any moves. This should be it's going to be, as I said, somewhat of a roller coaster ride, but once that roller coaster gets to the bottom, it's smooth sailing. So I just want you guys to be prepared. And again, this is something that you will have to chip away at and take your time with. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. But this marathon will help you and your children over the course of your lifetime by creating passive income. Regardless if you decide to flip or rent out the property, you will have a substantial amount of money to invest into the next property. And that's how people end up getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 properties under their belt. You start off with one. Don't go too big. Start off with something that you can handle. Even if you're in college, you can start with this. You know, if you have a house or you have an apartment, rent out a room to a friend. Be careful and make sure it's someone that you trust and that you know. But rent out a room. Rent out, a piece of a big house. If your parents are offering to get you a big house in college to rent, to live in, rent some of those places out to your friends. Rent a room. Be strategic about it and make sure that you do your research and that you get your numbers correct as well. You don't want to overcharge. But just, talk to your real estate agent again and get a good understanding of what that particular area sells for. And then you'll be able to come up with a accurate amount for rent, as well as if you have a foreclosure and you've renovated it and you decide that you want to rent it out, go for it. But don't overprice it. Make sure that you speak with your real estate broker, and don't do very extensive, luxurious repairs. Fix the things that matter. Make sure that the foundation is sound. Make sure that the house is going to stand. Yeah, we do want to make sure that you have a nice kitchen in there. But don't go overboard with the bathroom and with the kitchen, because one thing about renters are not going to pay just because you decided to put a luxurious $6,000 refrigerator in their unit. I'm fine with a regular refrigerator, so don't go overboard. Don't spend all your money on this rehab, but just take your time, be knowledgeable about it. Make sure that you read, make sure that you ask a lot of questions. Any questions that you have, there are no stupid questions, and be prepared before you jump into any type of contractual agreements with anyone. Make sure you talk to your attorney. I can't stress that enough. Let's be safe out here. Let's do this deal the right way. Let's do business the right way. Let's have a good, solid team. You can also, I know I said, a lot of people may have issues with credit or bankruptcy. This is a great way to get back on your feet if you have credit issues. If you can find someone that is willing to lend you some money, even an employee, a work comrade that you can talk real estate with, just talk to people, ask them questions, and let them know where you're at and find out where they're at. Have some meetings with people. Take your time, but get it done. Let's get into it. Let's not keep pushing it off to the next year. There's no time like the present. Right now, the housing market, the real estate market is recovering, but the properties are still very cheap, and it is definitely a great time to pick up a piece of property and let it work for you. Start building that passive income and get your family set and on board. Make sure that you also have someone around you that believes in your dream and in your passion of becoming a real estate investor. This thing is really, really big. It's really, really big, and a lot of people have been doing it for a lot of years, and a lot of us just didn't know. A lot of us just were not in the know. We didn't have the information that we needed to get started, and now you know. So even if you wanted to call us here at Smooth 90.5 FM, ask for Sarah Renee. I can help you as much as I possibly can. I want everyone to succeed and to do well out here in this real estate market. And another thing is that there's enough money out here for all of us. There's no need to fight. There's no need to be violent. There's plenty of money out here for everyone. So there's no need to even, do something wrong in order to make a profit. There's plenty of people that are in need of homes. There are plenty of homes that are in need of buyers. There are plenty of foreclosures that the banks are ready to get rid of. So again, please take your time, be knowledgeable, read your books, and tune in next week for us. We'll be here, Sarah Renee, talking real estate, and this is Smooth 90.5 FM HD Radio.